camera. Fuck's sake. Wish I'd gone back and got another camera tripod. Actually, yeah, this is
I think they still, I think Fox still has the most. They don't care as much about how he goes, except you.
Well, good morning. Welcome if you are joining us to the British Bouldering Championships. Getting ready to get things underway in a few moments' time.
Good job.
Bringing our first two athletes out onto the field, which will be Penny Orr for the women's and Tom Green for the men's. Roughly 1 minute countdown left before we get ready to kick things off here with the semi-finals of the British Bouldering Championships 2013.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to British Bouldering Championships.
There's a brief glimpse there of John Ellison, founder of Climbers Against Cancer. I'll be talking to him a little bit later on about what you guys can do to get involved with this fantastic charity as we move through the event. If you are able to make it down to Sheffield today, if you're anywhere near the vicinity and you can get down to Graves Park this evening, and the final is definitely not going to be something to miss. Of course, if you can't do that, then it will all be live and broadcast to you here. I'm Daniel Finn. I'll be with you all the way through today. Pleasure to be with you. If you want to get in touch with us today as well, we do have a Twitter hashtag now. It was there already, but I wasn't made aware of it, but now I am. You can get in touch with us by using the hashtag BMCBBC. That's BMCBBC. I'll check it as often as I possibly can, and therefore any questions that you might have, any interviews you might be after, get in touch with us and I'll do my best to find them for you. But here are our first two athletes coming out into the field. That strange piece of metal you can see there just on the mat, that's a jib for one of the other camera crews that are here making a video that you'll be able to see, I believe, Monday morning about the highlights of the event here at the British Bouldering Championships. So unfortunately for our first problem, we've got this sort of view with a stick in the middle of the way. Not to worry, that's the only place it's blocked off, and we will be filling the walls up as we move through the competition. So, starting with our first two athletes, and that's Tom Green there on men's semi-final number 1, which is the vertical. You can see there, starting off with the two handholds on the left-hand side, 2 footholds right at the bottom left corner. And that moves all the way across onto the slab. As you can see, he's trying to move his way across here. It's a balance-based problem. It's only going to get worse for him as he gets onto the slab section as well. You can see it a little bit further on there before pushing up. The bonus hold you can see there just with that tiny little bit of red tape marked down on the right-hand side next to the black tape. For those of you that are new to the sport, the black tape is a no-go area. If it isn't taped, you're allowed to use it. Got that black tape, crossing over that will cost you the attempt. You'll be pulled down by the judges. Working on the same feature that we worked as to yesterday, a normal IFSC format. So the semi-finalists in this category get 5 minutes each to attempt these problems which they have not seen before. They are kept in isolation. It's 5 minutes to analyse, read and attempt to top a problem. And if you are new to the sport, it is the most amount of tops in the least amount of attempts. So every time, as you can see Tom here, moves past those starting holds, that will count as an attempt. And the ideal is to be able to do that in just one attempt. You can see how small some of the holes are there on the women's route as well, as we just start off with Penny Orr, the 27-year-old from Edinburgh. She's been climbing on and off since childhood and competing for roughly a year. Got a hand up onto the bonus hold now. This is nice for her, looking good. Trying to get that toe in there with a little bit of a toe hook. Use the foothold a little bit higher up before pushing up to the final. And remember as well, with the IFSC format, we function in the same structure. So these athletes were the lowest to qualify yesterday. These were at the bottom of the table yesterday. We start with the lowest to qualify from the qualification rounds, and we build up to the highest. And those highest, I can tell you now, the last couple that we'll be expecting to see. And for the women's will be Shauna Coxey and Alex Puccio later on, coming out into our event here. If I disappear a few times as well, I will have to apologise about that one, but that's because we have a crowd here behind us, and I'm also doing some comparing with Ian Smith, who's the local MC here, so we'll be talking to the crowd a little bit as well. It sounds like I'm occasionally not talking to you. I do apologise, but I'll be back with you as much as I possibly can throughout the day. Tom Green, the 19-year-old from Doncaster, has been climbing for 7 years and has been competing for 3 of those.
We welcome, wearing in before it's Ellie Ryman, wearing number 8 it's Ronnie McKenzie. Okay, Ronnie McKenzie, 37-year-old climber from Edinburgh, been competing for 14 years. Best result was 6th place in this event a few years ago. Ellie, in contrast, is only 17. She's from Harrogate, but she's been competing for 8 years. She competed in the
So yes, apologies for disappearing occasionally. It's just because I'm having a chat to the guys that are local here to the venue as well. Here then currently with Roddy McKenzie and Ellie Reimer. Roddy hanging around the desk right to the very end yesterday. A little bit stressed because he was sitting in 10th place in his group as to whether he was going to make it through. I'm very excited to get there. You can see there the moment of uncertainty as Roddy just jumps down from the wall and thinks, how on earth am I going to get onto that second section of the wall? It can be done, Percy Bishton assures me. So for the women's then, starting off on this one, a more power-based problem, a little bit technical as well, considering the footwork that needs to be involved around the bonus to get to the top from there on. Those two pyramids-shaped volumes are at a really awkward angle there, can cause a few problems for the female athletes. Ellie Reimer then, the 17-year-old from Harrogate, one of my aforementioned Harrogate hustlers. If you follow the IFSC World Cup web feed, these are the guys that are frequently joining us in the chat room there whilst the IFSC World Cups are on. Has a nice little move there from Roddy as well. Nice and quick, confident. He's got himself onto the yellow. He's going to have to take his time here, sorting his feet and edging forward a little bit. Try and keep those hips turned in towards the wall before he can try and get a purchase on that bonus hold a little bit later on. There's not much to go on the plate just next to his head now either. And it's at an awkward angle. He's going to need to get a hand onto that bonus. Trying the stretch there. Ellie Reimer doing good here. Sort those feet out now before pushing up to the yellow. Just missing the pinch at the top of the pyramid there. A nice balance-based problem to start off the men's semi-finals then. What do we think of the routes that we've seen so far? Any opinions you might have, get them into us by using the hashtag BMCBBC on Twitter. And there is quite a bit of conjecture with the feature of slabs and run and jumps and the new types of problems that we're seeing emerge over the last few years and feature even more heavily than they did previously. What do we think of slabs? What are our opinions of slabs and of the run and jumps as well? Always like to know your thoughts. Roddy calling it there though with 25 seconds still left on the clock. Is Ellie Reimer going to go for it again, or is she calling it there? I think Ellie's going to call it there as well. 15 seconds left to go.
Next to climb and wearing number 24 on his back is Ed Barber, and wearing 81, it's Natasha Alcott. Then we've got a contrasting to his 27 years old and from Edinburgh. So his best ever competition result was yesterday, getting through the qualifiers. So he's already exceeded his previous track record in competition, which is fantastic for him. And Natasha, another of the juniors, she's 16 years of age, from Worcester. She competed in last year's BMC Youth Open event, finished fifth. In age category.
It'd be good if they weren't there, because she's got to go on for these rocks.
So she's beaten a couple of the senior climbers to make it through to this.
But it's not a big problem now, but she hasn't taken the side route.
Also,
If she does take it, I'll have to
we've got
watch it.
Penny fourth again. Also, Tom Green, where 47. I will be giving you the numbers because when it gets busy later on, there's climbers out there that do properly. But all you can see is their backs and matching t-shirts. The shot is quite a useful way of identifying who to. So we will call people by their numbers also.
If you are new to the sport as well, guys, you're going to want to keep your eyes peeled to the screen that you can see at the front here. You're going to want to keep your eyes peeled for these live results that are coming in. Those top 6 are the places that these guys are competing to try and get into. So on the screens you can see here, they're going to be wanting to sit about there. So as they come in, you can see this one here is the top, and this is the bonus, the lower one
on green. Over on the left, Ed starts in the position. As more and more climbers come out, you'll start to appreciate just what the problems involve. Generally speaking, you'll see that.
And a lovely top there just a few moments ago for Penny Orr on female semi-final 2, block 2. It's the one with the upside down fish on it. You can just see a piece of it on the right hand side now of your screen. The two new athletes that are out at the moment then are Eddie Barber and Natasha Alcock. So this is Eddie Barber now getting up towards the bonus here. He's going to need to get a hand to it, but this is good, just slipping off there. And that's the alarm to let him know that he's got 1 minute left on that clock. Natasha Alcock next to him. Standing at the bottom of the mat at the moment. She's just about to move forward and make another attempt at this one. A 16-year-old athlete from Worcester. Been climbing for 8 years and competing for 7 of those. And then Eddie Barber. Doing relatively well on problem 1 there, but unfortunately just running out of time.
British League champion. He's moved recently out of the junior ranks into the seniors. He's in his junior career, he had 2 second places. One was the European Youth Cup in Slovenia.
Well, here you can see our athletes are back out again. There's Roddy McKenzie. And Ellie Reimer now onto her second problem. That's the one with the upside down fish you can see in front of us here. So it's an undercling start down on the bottom right. You can just see it there. Starting to traverse across this way. One of the smaller ones on the problem wall here. I think men's problem 1's probably the biggest in terms of scale of the wall used. But yes, moving over to the left-hand side. Some really nice holds at the start here. Not too difficult at all. Nice and basic, moving across. It's when you get up to around the fish and the bonus hold, getting up from there, that can be quite tricky. And this penultimate hold's got a nice little ledge on it. It's relatively narrow, and with the cack hold to finish, you can see there as well. But nice and easily managed by Ellie Reimer. I don't think we're going to see too many problems with problem 2 at all here. A nice drop knee going on, but a bit of an Elvis also for Roddy McKenzie. Those legs are shaking. But that drop knee's given the purchase needed to get a little bit closer into the wall. He's going to start to move around from there now. You can see the bonus hold a bit further on.
We've just been handed an absolutely massive pack. Well, that's away. And we're here at the show. We've just handed me a massive sugar extra.
So Eddie back down on the floor here. Roddy back down on the floor here. 2 minutes 50 left on the clock. Plenty of time for him to have another go at that one. And moving round back onto the right seems to be what's stumping him. How he's going to get onto the bonus hold and move up from there. That's going to be a matter of using the arete once you've got a hand on there. Compression as you start to move up the wall towards that top. Because there's not much in the wall past the, past the bonus. So he's got a bit of compression to be done there. And our next two athletes are Ed Hamer and Ellie Howard. Ed Hamer, 21 years old, from Bakewell. Been climbing for 9 years and competing for 6 of those. Loves to climb in Spain and France. Ellie Howard, 28 years old, from near Skipton. And she's been competing for 4 years. Another one of the athletes that she greatly admires, Jill Peat, will be climbing a little bit later on in the competition. Jill qualifying quite highly from yesterday.
Is he doing it in a similar way to other people? You'll be able to make that judgment out there watching.
Right. 1-5 from the clocks. Let's give Ronnie McKenzie a bit of support as he goes for another attempt here on men's problem 2.
Go on, Ronnie. Surely you can see the power going in there. Yes, go on, mate, go on.
Roddy with his another attempt here for him. Struggling on that part of the wall. He had the drop knee going on earlier. You can see the shakes on the first time he attempted that one a little bit earlier. I think Roddy's going to be calling it a day there on that problem. But Ed is very close here, Ed Hamer. Looks like he's bypassed the bonus hold. Trying to use that lean instead and just stand up and go straight. So one of the holds a little bit higher up. Of course, if they do top without going to the bonus, they get the bonus automatically on that attempt. So you don't necessarily have to use the bonus every time. If it's in an awkward position, you think you can do it another way, there's always a way to do it. The master of doing it the unusual way will be out later on. That's Shauna Coxey. Enjoys making her own beater as she competes in these competitions. Our next two athletes out then are Anna Tribis, the 33-year-old from Edinburgh. Been climbing for about 8 years and competing for 5 of those. And next to her will be Will Atkinson, the 28-year-old from Leeds. He's been climbing for 15 years and competing for 12 of those. Tom Newman, another one of his heroes. Tom, another one of our competitors that will be out later on today. 4 from last, Tom, so qualified extremely well yesterday in the qualification rounds. And we're now taking you to quad screen as we have our athletes filling up the walls here. Over onto male problem 3 and women's problem 3. See Penny Orr and Tom Green, the first athletes that were out earlier today, now out on problems 3. Lovely finish there for Natasha Alcock. Tom Green here on men's problem 3. We've kept the flame volume on from yesterday. Nice vertical volume you can see there as well. Before moving on to the honeycomb bonus, you can see a little bit higher onto the wall. The blue. This is in the bottom left-hand side of your screen now. The finish here is a really, really narrow pocket. So it's going to have to be an accurate, relatively controlled, relatively slow finish for this one. No pushing up to try and grab that final hold, like you can see on female problem 2, which just happened with Natasha Alcock. This is going to be a much more controlled finish for men's problem 3. Very narrow pocket at the top. Women's problem 3 then, you can see over there, starts in this roof section. You can now see Penny Orr having a go at this one. Starting with this roof section. And then moves around to the left-hand side. She can use some smearing on the wall, but there are some little footholds there for her as well. No arret on the upper section. The bonus hold for her, you can see there at the bottom left, it's this black triangle shaped volume, the pyramid, with 3 holds bolstered on. I think moving up to that bonus hold is going to be the tricky part from the roof section with the orange ball you can see sticking out from the overhang there. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock roughly. It's going to start to be the time where these athletes at the end of this route at the moment, Penny Orr and Tom Green, are going to really have to start pushing if they want to see their way through to the final. A nice top there for Penny Orr on problem 2 earlier, but then most of the athletes, I believe, are going to be finding problem 2 for the women's relatively easy. It's a nice climb, not too stressful. This problem 3 should start causing a bit of a problem for them, and I believe that problem 5 could be quite tricky. We'll get on to that. Problem 4, rather, will be a little bit tricky for the women's. We're going to get onto that one a little bit later on.
And of course, the 6 to get through with that first time again this afternoon in the final. So whoever makes it to the final is going to have a special weekend.
Eddie Barber here trying men's problem 2, the one we just saw Roddy McKenzie run into difficulties with.
Come on, just will it. Come on, Will. Everybody up. That Barber pulls it back on.
Penny with another attempt here at this room section, the overhang. I think she's calling it there for that one, actually. Tom going for another one on the men's problem 3. Will looking good here. Will Atkinson, one move away from the top, just taking his time now. He's going to need to control this. Not too quick. Just lost it at the very last with 6 seconds left to go. Such a shame.
Next to 5 and wearing next to 7, it's Naomi Tilley. And wearing the 12, Gavin.
We welcome 2 new athletes then out onto the field onto problem 1. Naomi Tilley, the 17-year-old from Knox, or Nottingham, and Gavin Simmons, the 33-year-old from Bristol. Been climbing for 17 years, competing for 12 of those. As you might have heard Ian just next to me saying a few moments ago, well known around the world for being one of the entrepreneurs in the deep water soloing category of climbing. Well, as you can see there over on women's problem 2 at the moment, Ellie Howard, a very quick top for her. I think problem 2s can be kind of discounted now as long as they focus when they reach that point in the wall. I think we could see quite a lot of flashes on that one. And the results start to pour in now. We're back over with Ellie Reimer and Roddy McKenzie on problems 3. So Ellie using a lean out there.
Let's see if this suits his style or not.
It seems that they're finding it hard to stretch the ape as they leap out there on the roof section. You can see it's quite a reach for them to secure at this point. Gavin Simmons just trying that balance problem there at the start, having an issue with pushing up. Eddie Hamer as well over on problem 2 for the men's, just starting to push into the wall here, into this corner as he tries to get up to the higher section on the wall.
Come on. Yes. Keep it going then. Come on.
Looking good, but it's where Ed goes from here now. He's trying to use a heel hook by the look of things. Compression here between the arete. Up with the left. Oh no, the right. 2 minutes 15, plenty of time for Ed to go and have another attempt at that one. Let's just hope he hasn't exhausted himself with that one push there at the start. Roddy's still over here on the ground on men's problem 3, along with Ellie Reimer. And as I said before, if you are joining us, you can get in touch with us on the Twitter sphere by using the hashtag BMCBBC. Any questions you might have, direct them straight towards us. And we'll get a bit of a chat going today as we move through our semi-finals here of the British Bouldering Championships 2013.
Come on, Roddy.
Peter Duffin joining us on that hashtag, saying, can we get a mention for the young legend Tito and his poor family? If you don't know about that, the very young athlete, rising star Tito Traversi, who unfortunately very sadly passed away after an accident. Fought very bravely in hospital and unfortunately passed away a few days ago. And thoughts go out to his family for that one. Extremely unfortunate event. But Peter, thank you for being with us. Another question: what happened to Ed the Baker, and why is he not in? You said yesterday he dropped out last minute, but not why. Is he okay? I believe Ed the Baker is completely fine, as far as I know. Apparently, the only reason that I've been given as to why Eddie did drop out at last minute is because Eddie's not focusing on competition so much at the minute. I think Ed just had a change of heart at the last moment. He was around yesterday. He did watch some of the climbing for a while, but he didn't compete. So our 61 athletes went down to 60, and the only reason that was given was that he just didn't want to compete, apparently, this time. So hopefully that answers your question. A big shout out then to Liam Lonsdale, who was competing here yesterday, who joined us on the Twitter to say best of luck to Marmot Pro Leah Crane. And Leah will be out later on today. I will keep checking in on the Twitter sphere. Hopefully that answers a couple of questions and says hello to a few people. If you want to get in touch with us, that's hashtag BMCBBC. And we're now with two new athletes. That'll be Rachel Carr and Oren Coley. Rachel Carr, the 17-year-old from Edinburgh. She's been climbing for 6 years. And a random fact for you, her favourite food is haggis. Hardest problem that she's climbed so far today is jock sit start, which is a 7A to a 7A plus. Oren Coley, then the 17-year-old from Leicester, been climbing for 11 years. The hardest problems that he's climbed so far are Ben's Roof, which is a V10, and Power Band, which is a V9.
Speed climbing and other of the international disciplines in climbing, there's the lead, boulder and speed. So we have our British speed
Oren, one of the climbers that's inspired most by a lot of the American athletes, Shauna Coxey, Chris Sharma, Daniel Woods. Oren over on this balance problem then on problem 1. It's even the top left-hand side of your screen. But we are now on to the final set of problems. So these are the first athletes that will shortly have their completed results from the semi-finals. Penny Orr and Tom Green. the roof section here for the men's. We're moving into this extremely bizarre block higher up on the wall and onto the bonus, and then round to the left-hand side for the top. You can see it in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen at the moment, and just next to women's problem 5 as well, which moves up and around this corner on a vertical section of the wall. Starting on the climbing works volume that you can see there.
So we're at 46, Will Atkinson. Yes. Nice job, Warren.
It would be about to see our first top on problem 1 for the men's. Oh no, I do apologise. Gavin Simmons was our first top on problem 1 for the men's. We very nearly had a second then. Results as they stand so far at the moment, then Gavin Simmons is already in first place with 1 top and 2 attempts, and Ellie Reimer is currently holding the first place for the girls with 1 top as well.
Right, there goes one this morning. Okay, orange back on, so attention over to the left-hand side. Yes, nicely done. That was very neat.
Now the girls are already split here for the top 4. We have Ellie Reimer in first place due to getting 2 bonuses so far. So she has 1 top in 1 attempt and 2 bonuses. Anna Tribis, then Ellie Howard and Natasha Alcock are all tied at the moment in second with a flash on number 2. So number 2 is one of those kind of rule it out blocks. You're probably going to see a lot of tops on that one today. It's going to be 1, 3 and 4 that are going to split the girls down the middle, decide who gets through to that top 6.
Climbing for 10, and very well known on the Lancashire climbing scene. His favourite food is Lancashire hot dog.
So we have Brona Cairns, the 20-year-old from Enfield here, and we have Adam G. Worth, 28-year-old from
As is Ellie Howard.
another top on problem 2 then. So Adam G. Worth, the hardest problem that he's climbed is Zoo York, which is a V11, and his best place that he enjoys climbing is in Yorkshire.
Roddy McKenzie there, just trying to work out how to start this particular problem. As we mentioned before, starting holes might be black tape, and they've got to be used to start the problem. The semi-final event, as you're beginning to see, fantastic mix of balance, technique and flexibility, and some all-out power problems. Great mix by our Route 17. Don't forget you can see updated results on the screens at the front. We won't be giving those results out over the mic because it's not fair on other competitors. But if you want to see what's happening, come on down and look at the screens. They're constantly updated, constantly changing as each competitor.
Right, well, joining me now, I have competition organiser here, Rob Adey, who works for the BMC. We're going to have a brief chat. Rob, thank you for talking to us. Tell us about your role or your job title at the British Bouldering Championships.
Yeah, so I'm the competition organiser for the British Bouldering Championships, and my job title for the BMC is the competition development officer for the British Mountaineering.
What does that entail?
So I'm responsible for running all of the national and any international events in the UK. So we run national championships in all three disciplines: lead, speed, and boulder. We run quite a few different youth events. We run para climbing events as well. So this year we're running 15 different events across the UK.
Tell us about the BMC. What is it and what do they do? I mean, I know you say that you're running the events across the UK, but what is it as an organisation? How was it founded and what for?
The BMC is a national representative body for climbers, hill walkers and mountaineers. So we do everything from access work, sustaining access to the crags and hills in the UK, right through to technical kind of equipment inspections and things like that, right through to the competition side of things. So we represent the full gamut of kind of outdoor people in the UK.
So it's not just climbing, it's not just the indoor climbing sports we're looking at now as well, it's any form of mountaineering.
Any form of mountaineering, Himalayan stuff. We also run the kind of we administer grants for expeditions and things like that. And so it's the full range of all the kind of hill walking, mountaineering and climbing.
This is the first year that we've seen the British Bouldering Championships in the World Cup format. I just wanted to ask you why the change? What made you decide you wanted to switch on to that format in the previous years?
The change came about for three reasons really. One was the junior. We formed a junior bouldering team this year to compete on the international circuits, which we haven't done before. And for selection for that, we needed more than one event. So we've actually changed the junior bouldering circuit into a 3-event series, which then freed up this event to become a senior-only event spread over 2 days. Normally in previous years we have juniors on one day and seniors on the next, with only a qualifier for the final. We've also got an extra funding from Sport England, who fund mass participation sport in the UK. This event falls under that, so we've had a bit of extra funding to build a bigger wall, lay on the extra logistics for the bigger World Cup format event.
Can you tell us how it used to be marked beforehand, before you switched on to this format with the IFSC, the standard with the bonuses and per attempt, and the same format with qualies, semis and finals?
So in previous years there was only qualifiers and finals. So in qualifiers it was a scramble format, so all 50 or 60 competitors will be on the mat at the same time, all trying to do 10 problems in a 3 to 4 hour time period. So very chaotic, and if you weren't kind of experienced and knowing what you're doing, it can be quite time consuming as well and quite tiring. And then from there we take 10 climbers straight through to the final in the afternoon. So we do the whole competition in one day, and then the final was run on a similar format to a World Cup final, but the qualifiers are totally different. So obviously yesterday we had the qualifiers run on 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off, like a World Cup. Now we're having the semi-finals, and then this afternoon we'll have the finals, all run on World Cup format.
Talk to us about the perks of winning the BBC, of winning the British Bouldering Championship. I mean, in terms of prize, prestige, and what people get.
Obviously the main thing is the prestige for being national champion in bouldering. I mean, people like Dave Barons, who've been champion before. Shauna Coxey is champion in both lead and bouldering. And then obviously there's a decent prize purse of £500 for the winner for both categories.
Have you seen that prestige growing over the past few years? I mean, the BMC, and the fact that this is only began in 1998. Have you found that it's grown quite quickly and it's become sort of an event that has that prestige around it now?
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, I've been running these events. I think this is my 4th or 5th BBCs that I've run, and it's definitely kind of the interest is definitely increasing a huge amount. And I think a lot of that's helped by the webcasting the IFSC does, because people are watching the webcast on the World Cup stage and going, right, okay, that's really good to watch. And then when we're running similar events on a similar format and people understand exactly what's going on at any given time, it makes it so much easier. Back in the day when there wasn't any kind of when the events weren't webcast, people were coming along going, well, what's this? Whereas they can now actually log on to the IFSC website and watch it live. So there's a lot more opportunity for people to view this sort of sport.
And you're having a fantastic turnout. You had a fantastic turnout yesterday. You had some guys coming across from South Africa. We've got the Irish guys here. Obviously Chris, who's an Aussie, and Alex, who's an international from the US. Is it a bit surprising that it's the British Bouldering Championships and we've got different nationalities?
We've had non-British champions in the past. Audrey Segui, Sabi Baka was a British champion way back when. But it's great that people are wanting to come over and they recognise that the standard of events here, and the South Africans who came over for this event, we're looking for high standard events, and that's what they got yesterday.
So I'm building from that prestige that you've started to gather over the few years, and obviously you're getting this international crowd coming across that want to compete here. Where do you see this comp going in the future? How big do you think it will get and grow to?
Obviously this is the first year we've won a World Cup format, and kind of there are certain things we're willing to take away and evaluate. We'd love to be able to keep doing this format. From an organiser's point of view, it's great because as long as I've done my job right, I get to sit down and watch the comp.
I was going to say, I imagine that the health and safety with 60 athletes on the mat at the same time trying to jump up would be a nightmare.
It's a lot less stressful with the with a World Cup format. So it's hopefully it will go from strength to strength. And, we've never struggled for numbers in the men. They're always full before the entry deadline. So what we'd like to do now is kind of work on the females actually and get the numbers up in the female categories. And so that there's a full complement in the female category as well.
Now this is one of the competitions that's run over here that takes part in the selection process of the British team, the squad that goes to the IFSC international events. What does that mean? What does that entail? How will that work here? Is it just that you're keeping your eye out for somebody that they might break through and show some talent, and then you then talk to them, or is it a specific if they win kind of thing?
No, there'll be the managers are here today. In fact, Gaz Parry, the manager, is actually competing in the semis at the moment. He'll be looking at there'll be quite a few of the other coaches here looking at various climbers. There'll be a few shoe-ins, Dave Barons, Stuart Watson, etc. Who'll be they'll be straight in. We're definitely talent scouting for other climbers. There are a few climbers who are in the semis now that we've never heard of before, and who are definitely potential for the future.
But you're a good show to them to hopefully become part of the team.
Yeah, exactly. So we obviously we can only send the 8 climbers to the World Cup. 9 if Shauna keeps her ranking. We definitely want to bring on a talent scheme, and obviously now we have a junior bouldering team as well. That will be a natural feeder from the junior team up to the seniors.
So you think that will be also held within the junior comps then? You'll see that is there going to be a seeding system or something, and then the ones that are then qualifying of age to be a senior, straight in?
There will be a system where we take the kids. We don't in the lead events. We do take youth C onto the British team. So IFSC junior events start at youth B. We take youth C onto the teams to get them ready for the international event.
Is that 12, 13?
12, 13, yeah. For the junior bouldering team, we decided not to do that just because of the rigours of the bouldering side of things and growth plate injuries and things like that. But there will be talented athletes invited to team trainings and things like that. And then the same when they come out the other end of the junior team, lads like Nathan Phillips, who's climbing as we speak. He's a junior athlete in the IFSC junior category now, but he's also on the senior bouldering team as well. So he'll be going to senior team trainings and training with the senior team and learning a lot from them as they go along.
What is it you think about climbing in general that appeals to you? What originally drew you in, and how have you now ended up being one of the organisers of BMC?
Yeah, well, I've got a weird kind of back way into the an all-round climber. I do everything apart from competing, really.
Conscious decision, or
no, it's just some rubbish. I'm not got the talent or strength that these guys have. But yeah, I tried to do ice climbing, mountaineering, all that sort of thing. Rock climb as often as I could. But I started in industry designing climbing walls. So I worked for Onsfree's climbing walls for a few years, doing the front face design for them. And then the climbing wall development, I do all the climbing wall development for the BMC as well. So that job came up when Graham Alderson, IFSC delegate, left the BMC. He was doing my job as it stands now, so he was doing the climbing wall development work and the comp side of things. When he left, they split his job in two. I took the wall job on, and then Lucy Creamer, actually, kind of famous British competitor and climber, she took the comp side of things on. And then, she realised quite how much work it was and how little climbing she was getting done. So she moved on, and they merged the job back into one and one half, really. It's a hell of a lot of work doing both at the same time.
Are you basically saying that if Graham was to leave the IFSC, then you'd just try and get in there as a technical delegate?
Yeah, maybe. But mind you, to be fair, I've seen how hard Graham works for the IFSC, so maybe not.
Personal favourites, that's another thing I want to talk to you about. This comp in general, or at the IFSC, watching the web feeds and things like that, the climbers that you admire or enjoy watching perform the most?
Yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed watching the World Cups, the Boulder World Cups this year, actually. I mean, notwithstanding that Shauna's doing really well, and some of the other guys, Mina and Leah and Ned and Dave, are doing really well. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying watching the webcast. I've got a nice big TV at home, so I put my laptop into the TV and get a beer out. I've got the iPad app, it's just like watching the football on the weekend. You watch the IFSC webcast on the TV.
Token tuning. Yeah. Nice. And then the other thing I was wanting to ask you is what's your own personal most memorable experience? I mean, you're saying you got into the BMC in the way that you did. You climbed yourself, but you're not a climber. Anything that stood out for you in the years from then to now that's been the most memorable thing?
Yeah, I think the most, specifically talking about events, the most memorable thing I've done since I've been at the BMC was running the World Youth Championships up at Ratho. That was in 2010. And that was a massive event. It was 450 kids from like 59 different countries.
Yeah, I did Singapore last year.
It was the most stressful 4 days of my life, but it was very satisfying, and the kids all had a brilliant time, and it was really great to see that.
Actually, one of those people that was at Singapore last year, and one of the youth champions that's starting to move through into the senior category this year, going for the IFSC, is Molly Thompson-Smith. She's just come out now. She's got an interesting story about how she first got into it, and she's now a rising star.
Yeah.
Do you think there's an ample opportunity that maybe we've missed some rising stars that are out there at the moment, going to climbing gyms, competing or at least performing on their own to that kind of standard as Molly Thompson is doing at the moment, that we might have overlooked? I mean, what is the best way, if anybody is watching this now, if they are youth or if they are juniors, if they want to get involved in this sport and start becoming on the way towards being a professional climber, really, what would they have to do?
Yeah. I mean, what we do have at the moment is a really, really well set out talent pathway right through from grassroots up to team level and an international level. So we have our youth climbing series. So what generally tends to happen is young kids will go to climbing walls, they'll think, oh, this is brilliant, really want to get into this. They may compete at a couple of local climbing wall events. And then the natural progression is onto the youth climbing series. We had over 740 entrants into the youth climbing series this year.
Wow.
Again, it's another event that I administer, so it's a fairly heavy load. But so they come through. We take 330 kids to the national final from the 11 different regions across the UK and Ireland as well. And from there we take the top 10 into our national academies, which is kind of the level below the team. So they get coaching and stuff like that, and kind of nurturing really right through, and kind of competition experience. By that point they can start entering our youth events. We have 3 open youth events a year in both lead and bouldering, and then they can start, once they're doing that, they can start entering the major national events, so the lead, speed and bouldering events. So there is a really defined pathway right through, and it's super easy to start. You get down your local wall. I mean, the walls are really switched on these days as well. They all have their own youth climbing clubs and climbing academies themselves, and really switched on coaches, which is really great to see. So it's all coming together.
Rob, thank you very much for talking to us.
No problem.
Thank you. I know you're a busy man. I'll let you get back to it.
Cheers.
That was Rob AD from the BMC, the chief organiser here at this competition, the British Bouldering Championships 2013.
Okay, that completes the competition for this morning for Will Atkinson and Diana Climbing. And next to fly, 92, Eleanor Hopkins. Sorry, still a minute left, right here. My mistake. Apologies all round.
It was nice talking to Rob there about youth climbing in general and even the senior events run by the BMC and the kind of events that are coming and growing out of the British climbing scene over the past few years. Just a shout out to some of the people that were joining us on Twitter then again. Sydney Graham's back with us, giving some support to Gracie, who was out a few moments ago. And also to Nate. And then Will McClune, one of the traditional Harrogate hustlers. He's giving a shout out to Ellie Reimer and Howard, who are finished now. Great effort from both, Will says. Back at 12:15 for Barons. Big up the Harrogate hustlers. Well, we've got Diane Merrick out on the wall now. She's on problem 2. We've also got Gaz Parry, who's out climbing now as well. Who we were talking about a few moments ago with Rob, who is one of the team officials for the British team, Gareth Parry. You can see there at the top left-hand corner of your screen at the moment. And again, any interviews or questions or requests that you guys might have, you can get in touch with us, although it is there on your screens. I'll say it again by using the hashtag BMCBBC.
Twice the British Bouldering Champion, 4 times British League Champion, and once the Speed Champion. He also won the Arco Rockmaster back in 2007 and the Norway Rockmaster in 2007. Gaz Parry now also the team manager for the British team, as well as still competing. So over on the right hand side we've got Naomi Sim. Gav Simmons back in action. Ronna Kerr. Adam Newell and Nathan Phillips. And over on the left, Gaz Parry. Go on, Gaz. Go on. So Nathan on his second problem. Simmons sets off on his front problem for the round.
Gives you a big way. Where do you want me to move? It's okay. I can actually get the beginning. I just can't really see that first volume. I can see the rest of it though. Let's start from the move to the left. It's the person here was shooting with us, and they were sat to the left, right. Now he's shooting this way. Yeah, I know. Yeah. No wind.
The seniors on the way. Okay, over the left, Gaz Parry. Come on, Gaz. Go on, Gaz, keep it going. Okay, there's the next completes the semi-final for Gavin Simmons and Naomi Tilley. Next to climb, we welcome number 80, Jennifer Wood, and number 5, John Partridge. Jenny Wood, 18 years old from Manchester. Still competing in the juniors. Here doing very well in the senior event. John Partridge, member of the British team, 30 years old now, competed for 5 years. Was third in the British Bouldering Championships in both 2010 and 11. Competed in the World Cup that was held here in Sheffield in 2011 where he finished 10th. John has a current world ranking of 86. And that 10th place in Sheffield was his best ever international result. We've also got where it's 43 top birds. Go on, Ollie. Come on, keep it going now. Go on. Dominic Burns.
Fantastic top there for Dominic Burns. You can see the new athletes that are out for us now. We're getting into the higher section of the athletes that qualified through yesterday. Jonathan Partridge, now on men's problem 1. Jennifer Wood on women's problem 1, the 18-year-old from Manchester. She's been climbing for 7 years and competing for 6 of those, and admires Tara Hayes the most as one of her climbing idols, who's actually going to be competing a little bit later. And John Partridge, the 30-year-old athlete from Beaconsfield, who we all had the pleasure of hearing over in America just recently as a co-commentator on the IFSC events, but also a frequent feature on the circuit as part of the British team. Came third at the British Bouldering Championships in 2011 and 2010. Fantastic top there as well from Jennifer Wood. So now we're going to get into the really interesting side of things. These are the guys that are higher ranked yesterday to come through from the qualifications, and this is where the results are going to start to get really interesting. I can tell you that the current rankings, if you haven't got them at the moment at home, are for the men's. Dominic Burns currently in first place with a flash and 2 bonuses. Gavin Simmons in second place with 1 top in 2 attempts. And then we're down into Oren Coley in third, Ed Hamer in fourth, Eddie Barber in fifth, and Nathan Phillips in sixth at the moment. But remember, they are still, or some of them are still climbing, so we've still got a couple more attempts to go. Currently the cut-off point rests with Nathan Phillips. In the women's then, we have Gracie Martin in first place with 2 tops in 5 attempts. Diane Merrick in second with 1 top in a flash with the 2 bonuses. Also there with Molly Thompson-Smith with the same score, 1 top and 2 bonuses. Ellie Reimer in fourth, 1 top, 2 bonuses. So I believe they're being divided by the attempts on a bonus, then they must be to put them into that order.
Okay, that's the semi-final completed for Oren and Rachel. Next to climb, wearing 78, Charlotte Garden, and wearing number 7.
I've just had an update from Tim, who's giving those results, and they're actually split on countback. That's the reason that they're second, third, and fourth at the moment. They have actually climbed exactly the same, but they're now split on countback. If you don't know what that means, that's from their results from yesterday, the qualifications. If there is a complete tie with both bonuses and tops between athletes, we go to countback, we go to yesterday. We can't do that with 2 groups, so we won't be able to do that with the men's, which would mean if there were 2 tied 6th place athletes, we would be taking 7 men through to the finals instead. As there were 2 groups in the men's to compete yesterday, we can't use countback like we do with the women's, and we can only do it with the women's because there was only 1 group. So just a bit of an update for you on that one if you are new to the sport, not entirely sure how it works and who gets through. Again, any questions you do have, get them into us on Twitter. Rachel Carr currently sitting in 6th place for the women's. Rhoda Cairns in 5th. Rachel Carr in 6th with 1 top in 1 attempt. So a flash is enough at present to get you into the top 6.
Horrible winning there.
Go on.
As we have got some results in now, now is the time, guys, to keep your eyes peeled on your screens as we very front of the ball here now. Now the results are coming in. Keep your eyes peeled.
John's doing twice as good as
At the bottom of those results there, that's what these athletes that are coming out now and have to beat to try and make it through to the final later on this evening. We only take 6 men and 6 women, and the results are in front of you there. You can see the big square, that's the top, and the little dash underneath it is the bonus. Those 6 places, those are the ones to keep your eyes on as we move through the competition.
Come on, Charlotte.
Come on, Charlotte.
Ben back on again. He is so long, isn't he? Massive. Come on, Ben, give them some support. Come on, Ben, you can do this. Come on. That's it. Make some noise, Ben. Come on, Ben. You can do this. Come on.
Everybody's producing forward anyway, so hold on one at the moment. Okay, round of applause there anyway, for our fantastic end there.
Completes the competition for Adam Brother. Next to climb, wearing 26, we welcome Jill Pete. And wearing 26, Matt Cousins.
2 new athletes out for us now then, Jill Pete and Matt Cousins. Jill Pete, 30-year-old athlete from Blackburn, been climbing for 15 years, Jill has, and competing for 4 of those. Matt Cousins, a 24-year-old athlete, competing for 12 years, climbing for 12 and competing for 10. And as I was just saying to the crowd as well, now's the time to keep your eyes on those 6 places. If you're having the live results up in front of you at all, the one to get in for the men so far is just a bonus. It goes on a 10% on a bonus for the men to get you into 6th place. In 6th place for the women, still Rachel Carr with 1 flash and 1 bonus, obviously, in that flash. That's all you need to get into the top 6, but here the athletes come. And it is as we expected. Exactly.
Louis Park is there. Come on, Louis. Come on, Louis. You can do it. On program 3, Mother System. Yes, John Burns here on his 3rd problem. Go on, John. Go on. Oh, nice. Nice move. John March is over on his 2nd problem. Come on, John, yes. Oh, yes. John, that's good.
You can see some of the exhaustion there from John Partridge. Nice and controlled though, but deep breaths. Try not to get too pumped, but a fantastic top there for him. And hopefully that's going to start to mix things up a little bit as he starts to move through the competition. That's a top there for him, which is going to automatically bump him up into 3rd place.
Come on, Gracie.
Okay, Jill Pete's back on her 1st problem of the semi.
Come on, Gracie. Come on, mate. Come on.
Will Super.
Dominic Burns for Ireland.
For her, it's Matt. Right in the middle, John Burns. The Irish team.
A tricky one on this one for men's problem 3, not being able to use the erect, the tape there on the side restricts you from putting a hand out and using that.
Come on, Gracie. Take your time. Come on, Gracie. Come on. Work it out. Come on.
Molly Thompson-Smith over on problem 3 here, the youngest climber in this competition. At only 15. Trying to figure out what to do with this roof section at present. Jill Peak pushing up female problem 1. 2 moves away from the end, using the pocket on the penultimate move, securing a foot, and then up with the left. One more hand on that top will give her a secure top. There it is, Jill Peak. Fantastic finish there for her. And a fantastic start as well for this competition. Hoping to see Jill in the finals later on this evening. Question from Steep Stuff for us over here, saying how hot is it in there? It's very hot outside. It's not too hot inside, but it still has a bit of the humidity from yesterday. So I have no doubt that the chalk buildup is starting to definitely clog now. And the brushes will stay on top of it as best as they can, but it is quite humid in here.
Next in line from welcome, wearing 74 is Leah Crane.
There's a decent enough breeze, so the athletes should be cool enough themselves as they're going. And now we have Stuart Watson and Leah Crane out on problem 1. Two very well-known athletes on the IFSC circuit. Stuart Watson himself making it through to the finals twice in 2012. Last year, it's been the highest 15th on the world rankings as well, Stu. And he's made many of the IFSC World Cup finals, but as of this year still, he's yet to medal on the IFSC circuit, despite making it through to the finals, which in itself is a feat of achievement. Leah Crane already powering her way up to the bonus hold here. She's going to do some footwork and get herself up above the top. But we would expect and hope that she starts to chase Jill Peak, and we have an exciting final draw ahead of us. Ben West looking good here. And he's managed to stick it as well. Fantastic finish there for Ben West. And for Leah as well.
Hopkins. Wearing number 4, Harry. Over on the right.
Leah Craig, 24-year-old athlete, finishes up there. Stuart Watson doing exactly the same. Stu, one of the only athletes in the men's so far to have actually managed to top on problem 1. Gareth Simmons being the other one. Gavin Simmons doing 2 attempts. So at the moment, Jennifer Wood tops out at the women's results with 2 tops in 4 attempts. And Gracie Martin in second with 2 tops in 5. And Gracie has finished now. Jennifer Wood still climbing.
didn't sleep or something, I don't know. Just didn't sleep. Oh well, we left very early this morning, so she must have got on well thinking. Come on.
Well, 3 and 4 are definitely causing problems for the women's here, and as you can see, there's Diane Merrick on problem 4. Very nice there from Nathan Phillips on his last climb of the day. We've seen bonuses on this one so far. No tops. Is he going to give us our first one?
Oh, keep it going, come on.
Nathan Phillips, a fantastic effort there over on men's problem 4. Got to get back on that wall again and use that time if he needs it. He did well to get up onto that edge of the box. Has the bonus now. He's only 3 or 4 moves away from the top. Here he goes again for another attempt.
He's not having his best over there.
No luck there for Gaspari on problem 3 either. It looks like he's calling it a day at that one. Still a few more athletes yet to come though before we've had all of our athletes out. We start to break down this wall. We've got Mina Leslie Wojcicki now coming out onto the mat, and with her Tom Newman. And after Mina, there are 3 other female athletes still to come. So 3 other athletes that qualified higher than her yesterday. And after Tom, another 3 for the men as well. But both of these athletes are well within the capability range of making it through to the finals without breaking much of a sweat based on what the results are at present. Mina Leslie Wojcicki, many a fantastic result at the IFSC World Cups. Mina, 26 years old, from Sheffield. And Tom Newman, the 25-year-old athlete from Nottingham. Tom's most recent result on the IFSC circuit was 35th. And that was at Log Dragon there this year. Seems to have only been competing at Log Drag over the past few years. And a lovely top there, though, for Mina. The best result that we've had from Tom Newman here is 7th last year. Is he going to be able to push into that top 6 and come through into the final in this new IFSC format? Results update then of how we're standing at the moment. Jennifer Wood still in top place on the women's list with 2 tops in 4 attempts. Jill Peet now in 2nd with 2 tops in 5 attempts. And Gracie Martin in 3rd with 2 tops in 5 attempts as well. Diane Merrick in 4th. Charlotte Garden in 5th. And Molly Thompson-Smith in 6th. For the men's then, Dominic Burns in 1st with 1 top in 1 attempt, so a flash there for him, but also 3 bonuses, Dominic Burns. Ben West in 2nd with 1 top, 1 attempt, a flash, but 2 bonuses. Stuart Watson in 3rd now with 1 flash. And Stu's only climbed 1 so far as well, so he's come out and flashed 1 for us, and he's about to come out in a moment's time and start making an attempt at 2. Stuart Watson definitely gunning for the title here. That is a fantastically big reach there to go from the bonus hold up to that tiny plate on the block. You can see him reaching it for it then. Dominic Burns over on men's problem 4, the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Problem is using the edge seems to be costing these climbers attempts left, right and centre. That edge that you can see facing us where the blue meets the yellow on that extra box that juts out from the wall. Tom Newman still very close here as well for a top. One move away. So close. 1 minute to go.
Applause for our only Australian athlete here at the British Bouldering Championships. Briscoe Parsons over on men's problem 1.
Next to him, Sarah Hayes, 16 years old, still competing in the juniors. Qualified in third place yesterday for Northamptonshire. She's been competing for 7 years. And she won the British Bouldering Championships junior event in 2011.
Well, Christopher Parsons comes out to join us then, our only Australian athlete here in the competition for the British Bouldering Championships. Man very used to being on the IFSC circuit. He's been living on an oil rig for the past few months. How's he going to get on with a balance problem here? The only training that Chris has been doing over the past few months has been fingerboarding and running. Managed to get onto a wall in the past week or so since returning from his job out there. Chris hadn't been having too good a time at the IFSC comps recently.
Hopkins on the final problem for Sammy.
Gaz Parry as well over on men's problem for the last climb of the semis for him.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Concentration on Chris's face there as he pushes up past the bonus. Just slips at that moment.
On problem number 2, Stuart Watson.
It's definitely about having the confidence to shuffle a little bit further to the edge of that
Come on, Stuart.
green pyramid on men's problem 1.
Come on, Stuart. Stuart Watson.
Well, Stuart Watson is making short work of these problems here. Definitely on a fast track now to seeing himself through to the finals. He's the only male athlete so far to have topped 2 problems, and he's only attempted 2 so far. And that puts him in first place with 2 tops in 3 attempts.
Okay.
It's looking like Jennifer Wood is also, or has had problems on problem 3. Female athletes on 3 and 4 really struggling to get their tops here. Jennifer Wood still in first place with 2 tops in 4 attempts.
So, Charlotte. But number 7 is Ben West. Come on back. Yes. Oh! Come on, Sarah Hayes. And over on the left, Chris Parsons pulls back on. And Tara's going the elbow. Come on, Tara.
30 seconds left. Chris Parsons in that tentative position now just before the top. He's progressed past the bonus, but it's this last move that cost Tom Newman a top here. Can Chris get one at the last? He's got to really go for this one. Put himself too far away from the wall. With only 10 seconds left, I think Chris is calling it there. Smile on his face though as he finishes up.
So that's the semi-final complete for Gavin and Eleanor. And next to prize, wearing 72, Alex Puccio. And wearing number 1 on the reigning British champion is David Barron.
David Barron moves out, our current British Bouldering champion for 2012, here to maintain a title. He's already lost the title this year. The Quiff from 2012 went this year in 2013 to Jakob Schubert. Can he manage to come back and maintain this one? Next to him, Alex Puccio, who some would say is Shauna Cox's big competition here in this competition. Of course, we've got Mina in there as well. Jill Peet is another bit of competition there. And Tara Hayes, a nice surprise to see her qualifying in 3rd place for the semi-finals here today. Can Tara put on a show for it as well? A good show from Jennifer Wood, but Alex Puccio and Shauna Coxey, it's definitely going to be those two guys battling it out in the final later on, I think. Another top there for Mina Leslie Wojastik.
So on bottom of the we've got Jill Peet. Tom Newman is on his second problem.
Tom getting frustrated here. He's got plenty of time still left to go through that one. A top there for Alex Puccio, calm, collected and focused. Dave Barron's starting to move across the slab here now. Nearly got a hand onto the bonus hold there. He's going to go for it again, I think. Very nicely done here, and plenty of time if he goes wrong. Foot right to the top of the pyramid. But it's going to take a lot of confidence and a lot of relying on the feet here. He's got to trust his feet to get up above this one. Still trying to push for it a little bit too fast. We know from seeing Percy's work before, Percy Bishton, one of the route setters here, he likes to give these final tops where rushing for them can cost you it. All about control right at the very last. And Percy's definitely provided that on problem 1 for us. Plenty of time for Dave Barron to have another attempt here though. John Partridge out on problem 4. John Partridge here doing a little bit of a dance around on the volume over at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Now he's going for a knee bar here, get himself a little bit more secure before he goes up above here. Interesting to see what his decision is in terms of how he's going to progress from this point. Is he going to use the edge of the box, or is he going to strike up straight away and try and go for that tiny plate that's a little bit above him? There's also the potential foothold a little bit further out there, the yellow one. But it's a very awkward position to be in general around here. On that volume. 1 minute roughly left still to go. Tom Newman still on the forge. Your feet just starting to move up to the roof now. In the bottom left-hand screen for you. Dave Barron's making another attempt at problem one.
Good on, Joe.
20 seconds left on the clock here. Dave Barron is going for it again. Slip there for Timothy Wood. Over problem 4. And those are the 5 seconds counting down, which means it's time to change round and welcome our last pair onto the field. It's Shona Coxey, the reigning British Bouldering Champion from last year and the year before. She also came first in the juniors in 2009. Shona now out here to defend her title. Extremely well on the World Cup circuit over the past year. Also, Shona, definitely the new face of female British climbing in terms of the world market. Coxey last year, 3 silver medals, made every single final she competed at in 2012. This is in the IFSC circuit, the world circuit. And this year, a bronze and a silver medal as well. Made every final apart from Innsbruck. Had a run of making the finals until Innsbruck.
She had a fantastic season in the World Cup with a second place and 2 fourths.
Ashley Scott joining us on the Twitter, saying, Daniel, I have never heard you so quiet. Well, saying quite, actually. Spelling, Ashley, spelling. That's because I'm talking to the audience behind us in the time in between. We have an audience here as with every World Cup, but I'm also doing a bit of comparing to the crowd behind us with Ian Smith, the local MC. So if I do go quiet every now and then, I do apologise. I'm talking to some of the people behind me that are here at the venue as well. So everybody today is playing with the sound of my voice. Peter Duffin saying, come on Webbo, even if you're not British. Which is nice to see some support from Chris Webb-Parsons. And Sport Climbing Australia giving a shout out as well, saying, come on Webby. And Chris is just not gonna let himself not get flustered now after the first one and just missing that top. Stay focused for this second problem here. First part shouldn't be too much of a problem for him. Little crimpy section over to the left-hand side. That's all the fingerboarding he's been doing.
So, we're coming now on the third problem of the semi.
So Shona Coxey then, the 20-year-old athlete from Runcorn, already finished up. James Garden, 21-year-old athlete who stopped for 13 years. He came third at the Quiff, which is one of his proudest moments as being a competitive climber. Third at the British Bouldering Championships, and also has climbed some V12s. Definitely put on a good show for us yesterday, and he's here again trying to do the same today.
Stu Watson, first back into action, wearing the 22.
Now, can Stuart Watson be the first person to give us a top on problem 3? Stumped the other male athletes so far today. Stu's been looking good all the way through the first 2 problems here. 2 tops in 3 attempts, put him at the top of the men's competition list at the moment, qualifying for the finals.
And then this afternoon, the top 6, then Williams will sort the finals. So please do come back for that. It will be amazing. The problems will get even harder, even more spectacular.
Ben West trying an interesting tactic there on the volume of the bonus on problem 4. Stuart Watson here with another attempt, 30 seconds left on the clock. Can he be the first person to give us a top on problem 3? No such luck for Chris Webb-Parsons. He's leaving it there at that one by the look of things. Stuart's calling it there as well. One of our athletes running down, another rotation. Dave Barron's back out, Tom Newman, Alex Puccio, Mina Leslie Wojastik. Everyone has now climbed the first problem. Start to break down our wall here. Alex Puccio on problem 2, Dave Barron's on problem 2. And this is the one where it starts to matter for the men. Problem 2.
Problem 76, Bill Peake. And wearing 26, Matt Cousins.
Oh, no surprise there on women's problem 2. A top for Alex Puccio. We'd expect no less on that one, as we've seen most of our female athletes be able to top that one and indeed flash it throughout today. Mina trying to figure out what exactly to do here on problem 3. And the last climb of the semis for Jill Peete as well, who's currently in 4th place with 2 tops in 5 attempts. Tom, nice position to be in here with that lean out, but then he's going to have to start coming across to the left to go for that top.
Number 6, Tom Newman. Box up, sticky.
This is nice. Spreading.
Oh, yeah.
Reaching out. Going straight up for the green there.
Come on. Exploit for Tom Newman. Come on, Tom.
Jump too fast, Tom. And that is that's definitely our route setter here, Percy Bishton, and his traditional vengeance of the athletes having a real struggle to get towards the top, but then if they do want to rush for the top, it's always a bad move when he puts an accuracy finish on. And it's the same for problem 1 that we've seen today all the way through the men's. Even problem 2 is a bit of a stretch for that final move. You have to really start to push for it as opposed to just doing a random pop, hoping to get it. Bit of a better edge though over on problem 2. Dave Barron's is starting to approach that now. He's got to use this arete a little bit to get a little bit higher. But Dave is one of the shorter climbers, so he's going to have to shuffle up a little bit on the arete, I think, here before he pops up. He's going to go to the left or the right. And he does it with a pop, nice and secure as well. Dave Barron's there. Big stretch, but he makes it. 1 minute 35 left on the clock. Cousins getting frustrated there with problem 4. Watching that clock tick down, knowing that this is going to be the one. This is the attempt that's going to matter. He can get there within this last minute. He slips again. Might not have enough time for another attempt. Mina managing to get to that point some of the other female competitors have struggled with getting a hand onto the far edge of the roof, but looks like Mina's calling it a day there on 3. And Tom's got a chance at this one. Has he spotted the foothold a little bit higher up? It's a blue foothold. He transfers his feet now and gets the left on over to the side a little bit more. That's happened 3 or 4 times with Tom Newman. It's looking like that's the end of his time. Unfortunately, he's come so close. Shauna Coxey out here with James Garden on problem 2. Chris Webb-Parsons. Next out with Tara Hayes. Young athletes done fantastically well to come through to this point in the competition, and she's still pushing for a place in the finals later on. Current results in as they stand: Alex Puccio in first place with 2 tops and 2 flashes. Mia Leslie Rajastik in second place with 2 flashes. Leah Crane in third with 2 flashes. Jennifer Wood in fourth with 2 tops in 4 attempts. Jill Peet in fifth with 2 tops in 5 attempts. And Gracie Martin in sixth with 2 tops in 5 attempts for the men's. And Stuart Watson, 2 tops in 3. Dominic Burns, 1 top, 1 attempt to a flash, but then he's got all the bonuses, Dominic Burns. And you know what? That could be enough to keep him in this into this final later on. Dominic Burns, that could be enough. Currently in second. Shauna Coxey now skyrockets up to first place. A nice top there, nice and easy for James Garden.
And on problem 3, Chris Webb-Parsons.
Chris back out on problem 3. He's going to need to do something here if he wants to see himself through to the finals. No such luck so far for him.
Oh, yeah, they're great. Over on the extreme right. Go there. Come on, Bear.
He's got just under 3 minutes here, Chris. In a good position. I definitely think that Tom had the right idea with going up to that penultimate hole. Tiny blue one above the B of the BMC logo on that Chris is working on at the moment. There is that tiny foothold over to the left-hand side that nobody seems to have got a foot on and used yet. Security should help us towards the top. We're over here now with Leah Crane and her last climb of the day. This is the penultimate hold up on that sloper there. Postman no cigar. 2 minutes left on the clock though, more than enough time for another attempt from Leah. Stu Watson, can he be the first male athlete to be able to give us a top? Problem 4. We've seen this before. Interesting to get the heel hook into there. That trying to rock. Maybe trying to rock over it. No, he's changed his mind again. We saw some knee bars on problem 4 for the men's earlier, and that could be a tactic that will help you get a little bit further on that problem. Any other way of trying to move up past the bonus is costing them quite a few attempts. Stuart Watson's not quite sure what to do here. That knee bar seems to give a bit of extra support. The foot on the purple plate, wedging the knee under the gap by the bonus hold. Sarah Hayes here, the 16-year-old athlete, looking like she's calling it a day on problem 3. Not to worry though, not many of the female athletes have got anywhere near the bonus in that one, progressed past the roof. We're here with Leah Crane though. Again, none of the female athletes have managed to get a top out on this one yet. Leah's come pretty close, but it's how she gets from here onto the sloper and moves on to this top hold. It's going to divide this one.
And that completes Leah and Stu's semi-final.
And a round of applause for those two athletes as they leave the arena.
We've got Dave Barron.
Dave Barron's now over onto problem 3 for the men's.
72 Alex Puccio. Wearing 6.
Mina out on problem 4 now, and Alex on 3. Now Alex could have a chance at problem 3 on this one. These are big, powerful moves. Definitely her style. Mina again can stand a pretty good chance over on 5 at the moment. She's tall, she's going to have the reach on this one. A more elegant, controlled style of vertical climbing definitely suits her. Starting up here from the climbing works and moving round into the corner and up to the bonus. Shouldn't be too tricky for her. It's whether she can be able to get to that sloper and move up from there, like we saw Leah struggling with a few moments ago. For Dave Barron's as well on problem 3, this is a powerful problem as well. Also the flexibility of that lean out that we've been seeing some of the lads attempting and ending up in splits. Well, you can see Alex Puccio with some of the other athletes struggling to even get a hand to where she is now, doing that relatively easy. I know that she likes roof sections because when we were in Innsbruck just recently, we went climbing there with a couple of the other big IFSC names, Anna Storr and people, and she challenged both me and Mike, who's the producer that usually travels around with us on the IFSC circuit, by trying to set us problems herself, and most of them were roof sections. She was doing a lot of work on the roof sections that they had at the gym there in Innsbruck. As you can see, this powerful style is definitely in her vein. This next move's very accurate though. Can she make it? Yep, took it nice and slow, keeping the power. Heel hook there, and there's going to be a nice top here for her. Alex Puccio, the first female athlete to top out in problem 3. Setting the bar high here. Looking very, very strong. That was another flash for her, and that puts her in first place, and that puts the pressure right back on Shauna Coxey, the defending champion. And as I said a few moments ago, Mina as well, very easy up to that point there. She's got the height here and the elegant style of climbing needed for problem 4. And she's got the top there as well. Fantastic effort from Mina Leslie Bojastic. 3 tops now bumps her up into second, as Alex Puccio is going to be rocketing up to first in a moment. And that pretty much secures her a place in the final. Dave Barron's still looking at problem 3, thinking, how on earth am I going to get on from here? And Tom Newman as well, around that bonus problem on problem 4, just staring at that one, trying to think, how can I get my footwork into this one? How am I going to be able to push up and onto that purple plate a little bit higher up? Both lads staring at the wall here. 2 minutes left on the clock roughly. Enough time for these guys to have a couple of attempts.
Problem 3, problem 4.
Dave goes straight up for the honeycomb here, not using Tom's tactic. Or position to be in, but then he might not have the height or flexibility to stretch out quite as far as some of the other taller athletes. Dave Barrett, if he's going to make another one, needs to do it now, and he is. He's going for it, so back into starting holds again. 30 seconds left on the clock. Tom Newman has not had a good run here today at all. He's not been very happy with his performance as well. You can tell it's getting to him, it's getting him a bit flustered.
Come on, Dave, keep it going now, come on. Come on, Dave.
And this is the height disadvantage for Dave, definitely showing here. How hard it is to get up towards that penultimate hole for him. That's going to be to do with the height. Unfortunately, no top there for either of the gents. Another rotation. James Garden, let's see how he gets on here on problem 3. And Shauna Coxey on problem 3 as well.
Chris Webb-Parsons and Tara Hayes.
Now, Webb-Parsons is going to have to pull something out of the bag here on problem 4 as well.
So, Tara the first star. The others having a look at the problem. Just 5 minutes to make their assessments and complete their attempts.
As well on Alex, he's going to need to get us up a flash here.
Who else wants to stop out on this problem? You do, but she doesn't.
Good here. Control, little push up to this pocket above her now. Done, same in very similar position to what Sarat Spuccio a few moments ago. But here, using one of the other handholds from the start, before deciding she's going to heel up. There we are. Bring it up over the heel. That gives her a stop there, very nicely done. Chris Webb-Parsons. Still pushing hard on problem 4. Tara Hayes also doing the same. James Garden on problem 3 for the men's. We haven't seen a top yet on this one. 3 and 4 for the men seem to be the ones that have really stopped them at the last.
That's it, Chris. Come on, keep it going.
spot here. Enough time for these guys to make another few attempts. Tara Hayes still trying to start off the climbing works starting hold here. Chris looks like he's getting ready to do one more attempt. There's the minute timer. Shaking out a bit of lactic acid that might have built up in those muscles. James is calling it there on problem 3. Deciding to go no further on that problem. He'll be saving a bit of energy before he starts off on 4 in a few months' time.
Chris and Tara left now. Using all that time here on that final problem.
Strengthen the fingers that Chris has got going on at the moment. That was a big swing out there and he still managed to hold it.
Yeah, that's it. So, good work, Parsons. Complete the semi-final goes.
So it's looking like we're not going to see any of Chris Parsons in the finals. By the look of things here so far, no top for him at all at this semi-final stage. He's obviously going to be quite frustrated with that, no doubt. But, they were definitely very hard on 3 and 4 for the gents. We still see David Barrett here, another attempt. He's now in his final one. 1 and 2 was well within his reach, and I think that just got to him a little bit there as well. Alex Puccio with her final climb of the semi-finals, although she's already well and truly through to the finals later on. Hopefully we'll have the benefit of Chris not being that annoyed, and he can come and join us and do some co-coms with me in the finals. Always a privilege and a pleasure to have the Webb Parsons sitting with me in the commentary box. And hopefully Chris will agree to do that a little bit later on. Alex then with her last climb of the day. A little bit shorter than Mina, so she could have a problem here with this one. And now Dave Barrett as well on his final climb of the day, problem 4. Alex managing to get there though. There's the bonus for her. Go for it by the look of things. Just slipping off. She's had a hand on it now. That's fine, no flash for her. She's still going to be making it through to the finals. She got the bonus of the first attempt. No flash this time, but she's had a hand on that sloper now. She's going to know the feel of it the next time she comes to it. Knowledge is power. And Dave Barrett's still back down on the floor, struggling to get onto the volume on this section of problem 4. Well, it's the last stage of the day here then, for the semi-finals that is. Before we take a bit of a break, come back to you later on at 3:45. The finals start at 4 o'clock. Local time, if you're joining us from anywhere else around the world, that's GMT. Here in Sheffield, in the north of England. Shauna's going to get this one. Yep, fantastic. There's a top there for Shauna. The crowd are appreciative. And James is going for that knee bar there by the look of things for a moment, but he seems to have changed his mind again. Two minutes 15 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time for him. Shauna Coxey, 4 tops in 5 attempts, now puts her in first place, going through into the finals. And remember, if we have a tie in the final, that can make all the difference as we go to count back. And having that big lead there on Alex Puccio. So currently in 6th place is Jill Peat, making it through into the finals. We have Shauna Coxey, Alex Puccio, Mina Leslie Wojastic, Leah Crane, Jennifer Wood, Jill Peat, making it through to our finals. And as our last climber, Shauna's just finished, those, by the looks of things, are going to be our finalists. Of course, all the results are provisional until they're confirmed by everybody here, the judges, a few moments after the competition finishes up. But by the look of things, our female list will be Shauna Coxey, Alex Puccio, Mina Leslie Wojastic, Leah Crane, Jennifer Wood, and Jill Peat. James Garden is already through to the men's final, but he's going to want to try and finish up here on problem 4. The first place is Stuart Watson with 2 tops and 3 attempts, 3 bonuses. Dominic Burns indeed has stuck in 2nd place with 1 top and all of the bonuses. I've got James Garden in 3rd, Ben West in 4th, Jonathan Partridge in 5th, and Dave Barrett in 6th. So Dave has made it through, but only by the skin of his teeth as being the reigning champion. James with 30 seconds. I've just had an update from Tim, the official here, that's saying that when James has finished, James has just finished now, there probably won't be any change too much for the women's. But he's got 6 or 7 appeals coming through on the first couple of blocks. For the men's, appeals obviously have to be addressed by the judges here, by the officials. So they're going to have a rethink over that one. He said he doesn't think it will affect the men's finalists too much. Maybe not even at all. But these results, as I'm saying to you now, and said a moment ago, are provisional. At the moment, though, our finalists, Stuart Watson, Dominic Burns, James Garden, Ben West, John Partridge, and Dave Barrons. In the women's, Shauna Coxey, Alex Puccio, Mina Leslie Wojastic, Leah Crane, Jennifer Wood, and Jill Peat. Those are at 12 at the moment. I will look forward to seeing you all back here, starting at the finals at 4 o'clock. I'll see you soon, guys.
The judges will sign off.